Alright everyone, welcome back to another fantasy video. Now, let's start off by looking at my group stage team for Katowice. Started off actually really well. Mongols and EF played pretty good, and this one's on me, honestly. I screwed up here. I missed the last game of the event between Gamer Legion and Spirit. And my plan was to put Chicken out on ZTR for that game, but, well, since I missed the game, I didn't have time to put the booster, and that led to me getting minus 21 points from that game. Mongols also had a poor game, but there's not much I could do about that. I should have had like 10, potentially even 12 points from this event, but that one's on me. ZTR is still my fantasy goat. He should have been in positive points for this event, but that's on me, that's on me. Anyway, moving on. Let's just take a quick peek at the playoff bracket. Now, straight away, I know Mongols has a pretty good record against Eternal Fire, but EF are just in super good form at the moment. I'm gonna say they take that one, and just looking at the fantasy pricing, there's no way I draft Mongols here. They're just too expensive to even like take a budget pick from there. It doesn't really make sense in my eyes. So unfortunately, we cannot support the Mongols for this one. VP have a stand-in or a sub with Mir due to Flammes having visa issues. So, I mean, there's no world where they beat Spirit. Let's be honest here. So I'm expecting Eternal Fire, Vitality, and Navi Spirit in the semifinals. Sure, Navi beat Spirit earlier on in the tournament, but with more time to prepare, I don't know, I just favor Spirit here. It's still quite a tight one for me, and I think that's really where... Well, I mean, honestly, the second semifinal is probably going to be quite tight as well. Vitality are still quite new roster. Well, I mean, they didn't make that many changes, but still haven't had time to crack that much. EF obviously also changed the player, but I mean, it's gonna be super tight. I think both of those ones. EF actually beats Vitality at Blast Bounty, so that's something to keep in mind. I don't know how much that really affects my reasoning for my picks, but I'm leaning towards going with the favorites here and saying Spirit Vitality in the finals, even though actually probably Eternal Fire Vitality, the odds are probably going to be quite even in that game. But yeah, that's just my take on things here. But yeah, I mean, it's really what you're feeling like and what kind of team you can put together. So just quickly looking at the players here. As I said, the Mongols are just too expensive for me. I don't want to really gamble on them here. VP, I'm not even going to touch unless you're going for like a chicken out strat with Mir. Even then, Major is 5k more, so I couldn't really find a way to even use that extra 5k like too effectively in my short time researching here. So just taking a look at, like, let's say you want to go Spirits and Vitality here. This is literally the first draft I made. Looks really good. You could argue it's a bit boring, but I honestly really like the look of this draft. Just hoping Chopper can get something from that VP game and Major for something against the Mongols. And then we should be looking pretty good here. Assuming that Vitality and Spirit win their respective semis. So that would probably be my Spirit Vitality team. Then we just... Who else? Like, if you want to go Navi, I really don't want to go Alexi or Apex if I'm able to. If you want to go a Navi Vitality lineup, you can't really do it without picking one of Apex or Alexi, unfortunately. So it would have to be something like this, and then you could upgrade Wonderful to JL or downgrade Flames to Robs. Not a bad looking team at all. Just I'm kind of thinking that Spirit take the semis, so it doesn't really make sense for me. And Eternal Fire, this pricing on Vicadia is interesting to say the least. I know he didn't have or hasn't had the best group stage, but being cheaper than Jada by 5k is just insane. I'm sure if you want to pick EF, you should probably go Santares. You could make a pretty nice looking draft here by doing something like this, and then you could. I mean, you have some insurance with Apex if Vitality beats Eternal Fire, but I mean, he's probably not gonna do very well in the semis or the finals, so it's not the most inspiring pick. But you have decently strong players from EF and Shiro, who we're just super relying on going huge here. Yeah, I mean, you can't. That's my problem here. Can't really get like a super nice looking draft. Like double Navi is just every time it's too expensive. 1k from Mir here could be a really interesting lineup otherwise. But yeah, the money's just always a tad bit short. So you would have to like go Alexi and yeah, I don't know. Just not loving it if I'm honest. So at the moment, I'm like 90% set on this draft. It's a bit boring, but the only other way I can really see myself going is gambling on Eternal Fire and still picking Spirit, probably. Like something along these lines. Then you could get like a mirror here or whatever. Could be interesting, you know, if I really wanted to gamble on EF. I'm not actually quite sure, because I'm not sure if I want to go for this kind of boring draft. It's super strong, or potentially super strong though, if my budget picks perform even remotely well. But just taking a look at like the most picked players at the moment, we don't even have Shiro on here at the moment. I mean, I'm sure I'm really early at the moment. Sorry, I just said at the moment like 5 times. But yeah, I'm quite early to drafting this time around. So, I mean, I'm sure Shiro probably is going to pop up here at some point. But yeah, Chopper is going to, he's just going to be like the most picked player. So it's kind of a safe bet if you're just going for season points, which I mean, you should at this point of the season. So I don't hate it. These are pretty much the drafts that I already showed you. Like Navi Vitality could be interesting, but then we also have to go with Apex, and I mean, I guess I have Chopper in this draft, so you have to make some concessions somewhere, and just squeeze out the money. Now this one looks kind of fire. If I really want to gamble and go Navi EF, this is what I would go for. Just looks straight fire if if Navi and EF make it to the finals, then we're balling here. So honestly, it would be like this or this probably. But as I said, I'm like 90% on this at the moment. You still look at the roles. Don't really love Multifragger on Robs, but doesn't really have any amazing roles anymore. Like go IGL maybe. Try and swap it around a bit. But I would probably play. Actually, I'm not sure if I would play Chicken Out in the semifinals against Vitality here for Measure. I'm not fully decided on that yet. But as always, I'm going to post a link at the top of the description box. So you can stay updated with my team and just see if I make some changes to my picks before the start of the event. But yeah, those are pretty much my thoughts at the moment. Leave a comment, let me know what you guys think, what you guys are going with. And yeah, let's hope we have a really exciting playoffs and may the best team win. Thanks for watching, guys.